Silvestri, Levi Dykeman, or Lexi Dykeman. That's all. That does sound Riley Castelou, Cynthia McGowan, also Bryce Martinez, Maylee Lena, Destiny Burgess, and Shanate Bergeron.
Hannah Hodges with the early lead, taking that hole shot. Rodney putting that number 17 machine out front. That gas taking the lead early in this one, going to go deep to the inside, going to block the rest of this field. We talked about a good, clean first couple laps. Right now, just needs to focus. You see a lot of the moisture going now. The 10 Commandments getting a good drive through there. And Hannah Hodges sitting on that 3-6, puts herself in great position early in this one.
I know a lot of folks coming into this one may look to Hannah Hodges as possibly the heir apparent and the women's class champion here for the 2021 season, but that's why we run 3 motos out here. Hodges turning, posting up a 3 and a 6 like you had pointed out. She gets a great start here in the 3rd and final moto, and she also gets all kinds of pressure coming down on her at the same time as the 56 is Sophia Phelps, who went 2-1 out of St. George, Utah, putting the heat on and making the pass here in this first lap.
Phelps making a statement early in this one. Half a lap in, sat back there for just a moment, saw a great opportunity around the outside of Hodges, and as you said, the number 56, Sophia Phelps, capitalizing. Sitting on a 2:01 coming in, trying to make a statement right now and really put a lock on this one. And another challenge to Hodges on that Yamaha right there. I believe that might be... let's see, who is that on that Yamaha? Got another challenge right now, moving up into second place. Went right by Hodges, and I'm not sure. I don't even see a Yamaha up in the top 13. The first one I see is Samantha Peters, the number 45.
Well, here we go. That might be very well Peters, actually, as we go by. Actually, no. That is the 28 of Katie Benson.
There we go.
And Katie's name hasn't even been brought up
right here.
Now.
She's sitting on a 4-2. Yeah,
she's and that's one that I overlooked. Sorry, Katie. She's also a player in this one with a score of 6. Of course, Megawatt Matt Watson didn't overlook Katie, and Katie is not going to be denied here in Moto number 3, as we've seen her up banging bars in the front of the pack each and every one of these motos. She has been getting good starts and then falling back. Today, though, things turned around, not as good a start, and she's working her way up.
Now look at this pack, Rodney. Taylor Jones, Corey Steed, Shelby Rollins, and just ahead of them, Taylor Allred. How tough does that get, brother?
Man, that right there is the who's who of women's class racing, with Phelps barely leading this one still over Katie Benson. Benson trying to put the pressure on here. Hodges, Allred, Jones, as you said, Corey Steed working her way up through the pack now on the number 40, with Roland Ignacio Riveras right behind her in tow.
I tell you, Phelps riding extremely aggressive early in this one, trying to put a little gap, as we say, give herself a little buffer zone. Right now, she's sitting on a 4-point buffer. We watched 7 points go to 2 points in that last one, Rodney, in a matter of 2 laps. So nothing is a guarantee right now, but wow, what a feeling for Sophia Phelps, looking at a possible 2-1-1. Benson charging right now, sitting on a 4-2-2. Taylor Allred with a moto win in Moto number 1, looking at a 1-3-4. So, man, this one's going to heat up, Rodney, and going to heat up quickly.
Well, I think it's already heated up, man. I mean, in the process of saying that sentence, it went up about 20 degrees, I think. Wow, launching into this front section. I mean, literally launching into this front section. Hannah Hodges, I believe, on board that number 17.
I mean, looked like Levi Kitchen dropping out of the air right there.
I mean,
dude,
she was like getting hang time right beside the drone out there for a few moments, our wireless cam, if you will, and it is off. Wow, that is pretty impressive to see that kind of jump. I like to call that our wireless cable cam.
It is. It's our wireless cable cam for sure. Man, here comes the battle heating up right now. The number 56, Sophia Phelps, starting to get pressure from the 28 of Katie Benson. Benson's in a great spot right now. Look, avoiding that roost, looking at all the lines that Phelps is using. So she's back there studying. There is 15 minutes left in this thing, Ronnie. It's a 20-minute race.
Right.
Now, I'm telling you right now, we're going to see some shakeups. Somebody's going to get impatient soon. Somebody's going to pull the trigger and try to make things happen.
You know, this...
Whoa.
Good rhythm coming out for the 28 of Katie Benson. But what I was going to say about Katie, you know, she started out so strong this week that I think that when she gets up front, maybe she just overthinks things and little mistakes start to happen. This might be the best way for her to move to the front of the pack, is to have to work her way through the pack, so she's concentrating on something else rather than trying to maintain the lead out there.
Yeah, I would agree with that, Rodney. Sometimes it is much easier to pursue, you know, than to lead. You've got a lot of pressure coming in all directions. I'd rather be the one applying the pressure for the majority of the race and then try to strategically get up there. Many times been in that situation where you just succumb to the pressure, man. Woo! I got here, now what do I do?
Allred and Hodges going at it right now for that third place position. Allred showing a wheel 3/4 of a second, so what the time clock says as they went by a few moments ago. You watch this on the racetrack. It looks physically so much closer as we head toward the heart of this race course and fade away into that big Thor sweeper around Polysport Pond. Benson still trying to reel in Phelps for that number 1 spot.
Did you see the roost come off the back of Benson's bike? Laid that thing over, grabbed a handful. Look at this, up to the rear fender of Phelps as they come right below us here at the tower. Rodney, this is a good one right here. Coming through in that third position, Hannah Hodges only 1.9 seconds back, so our top 3 separated by less than 2 seconds, bro.
Well, I tell you, Benson has really matured on this Yamaha here in the last year or so to become the racer that she is, and so solid out there right now with Hodges. Again, Hodges and Allred. I'm curious how that one's going to work out. Taylor Jones back to the number 5 spot. Corey Steed is now 6th. Ignacio Riveras is 7th. Shelly Rowland is 8th. Brianna Sheltema in 9th. And Carrie Wilson rounds out the top 10. If things stay the way they are right now, Sophia Phelps would be your women's champion with a 2-1-1. Katie Benson would go 4-2-2 for the overall second. Taylor Allred, a 1-3-4, would score her 3rd overall here in the 2021 championship campaign.
Benson picks up big time every lap through the 10 Commandments. She triples out, but seems to go wide after doing that, and that allows Sophia Phelps to pick up that gap, increase that gap as they work back into Storyland each lap. But we've seen it now about 3 times, the same move. So Sophia Phelps knows exactly what Benson is thinking back there. She knows she's going to pull that triple, goes on the defense, makes her go wide after that. But look at the 2 of them now really starting to pull out. The only 2 in the frame right now. Hannah Hodges was in the picture. There she comes right now. And behind Hodges, Taylor Allred. So those 2 going to be engaging in a battle of their own. Hopefully the momentum will pick up and push them both to the front.
12 minutes still left to go in this moto here today. Still plenty of room for racing action, so it continues to heat up here, Megawatt, by these Polysport Pond once again. Benson several more bike lengths closer and actually trying to position herself for the, no, she's going to swing out wide and maybe try to make the pass from the outside.
Wow, carries that momentum but loses some time right there.
I think instead of going for the pass right there, Katie may have been going for the setup. Let's watch what's going on down here in front of the billboard. She may have been trying to set herself up for the right line coming here.
Yeah, she does do that. She gets the wheels on the ground and gets that drive, Rodney, but the problem is
she can't make real estate.
Yeah, Sophia Phelps just has too much dirt between herself and Benson.
So Benson, you can see what she's thinking, but right. Sophia Phelps, I believe, also feels what's going on as well.
Now watch, when we come through the 10 Commandments, Benson is going to triple out of this thing, going to tighten it up. But as soon as we make that left-hander, we take the quick right-hander here, coming out of the 10 Commandments. Watch what we're talking about. She's going to triple out here in just a second. Here we go. Boom. Comes up a little short, but look, she closes the gap. This is the same gap every lap. Now see what this forces her to do. Phelps is going to pull over, takes that line. So look, she has to go outside like she's done every lap. Yep. Everything she gained from that triple, nullified, gone right there. Actually gave up more, move it into Storyland. Now Benson, when we get back into the front of this track, you're going to see her do the same thing around the tree turn. She's going to gain a lot of speed. She's going to carry it around the outside, and she's going to try to make that move in the Bermuda Triangle again.
Well, she's certainly trying to utilize the outside apron of this racetrack for I think as much as anything, smooth line purposes and momentum. Just unfortunately, the inside line is pretty tight today, and it's got a lot of momentum going with it, and she can't make the gains that she's wanting to make. In the meantime, she's starting to get herself under a little bit of pressure, as I believe that we may be seeing, that lap traffic kind of slowing her down, allowing Hodges and Taylor Allred to close that gap up from just 4 seconds behind him right now. So this could get a little heated for the 28 machinist. She's trying to reel in, but I got to say, she's getting through that lap traffic, and she's keeping Sophia Phelps right there just a few feet away, so she's not letting her get away right now.
Yeah, that was a bit of a bummer. I think the lapper honestly felt that was a legitimate pass,
right?
And actually it was putting our lap down. Picked it up a little bit right there on Benson, but still able to cleanly get around her without too much ado.
I was wondering, I was getting a little nervous about that one.
Me too.
So Allred now 3 seconds back. Hodges was able to get through that lap traffic without Hodges mounting the challenge. Looks like also Taylor Allred back there. Taylor Jones, 13.5 seconds back. Former WXC, that's women's cross country national champion on board the number 13 out here. In 5th place, got to tip her hat to her. Corey Steed, another off-road racer in that 6th place position. Shelby Rowland is 8th place. Also Ignacio Rivera 7th. Sorry about that. Sheltima and Destiny Burgess rounds out the top 10.
Wow, Benson having a tough time through the 10 commandments there, Rodney. Really got jacked up on the way in. Look, now dragging the foot behind. Got to concentrate right now. Got to focus. 2 big mistakes right there. You can gather this thing up, okay? Take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Get this thing going on. Oh, another big mistake right there. Benson in push mode right now. Back around that tree turn, going into the waterworks. Sophia Phelps now enjoying a little bigger lead than the previous laps as they work their way down into the Monster Mile. Now Benson just entering the Monster Mile, so a fairly good gap right now for Sophia Phelps.
So right now, still watching, 7:47 still left in the race. Call it 7:42 as they make their way into the now Polysport Sweeper, Polysport Pond, and Thor Sweeper term.
Benson is so fast through those rollers right there. It's just absolutely incredible. But once we get down into this narrow section in the Bermuda Triangle, there's just no way to make an advancement. Sophia Phelps riding extremely defensive, has the good lines, knows that all she has to do is defend right now at this point. 7 minutes to go.
Well, watching Benson lay chase back there in the number 2 spot as they round the billboard now. The gap, if you look at it physically, I'm looking at, wow, that's really, what happened to Benson? Did I miss Benson? Or
who's on the dirt? Yeah, Benson.
Yeah, Benson. I was watching out the window and I didn't see Benson come out there, so Sophia Phelps exits from behind the billboard with now no pressure being applied.
Hannah Hodges gets by.
Yep, Hannah Hodges. I was going to say uh-oh for Katie Benson at this point, though, because that's going to certainly mix things up.
Look at Benson remount. Whoa, is that Hodges? Yeah, Hodges off the track back there.
Wow, Hodges, a golden opportunity basically handed to her right there, and she basically lets that one slip through. That's the intensity of this women's class. Women's class racing is all the way through the field. It used to be like 4 or 5 riders that you had to worry about. You look at it now, it's probably 20 different riders that you got to be concerned about.
39.
Well, 39 or 40 other riders that you got to be concerned about in reality, as this class has really stepped up its pace and its competitiveness over the course of the last few years.
So Benson puts herself back into the 2nd position, it looks like right now. I mean, they had a little bit of a gap. She was able to get back up. As we said, Hodges got by. Hodges then runs off the track. Whoa, is that Benson down again?
Benson down again, and that's going to allow Taylor Allred by. So Hodges up to 2nd, Taylor Allred up to 3rd, and And I'm going to say that Taylor Jones might be sneaking through there as well. It was about 15 seconds back to the 13 machine, so she might have lost enough time. It's close if she hasn't gotten around her at this point. What a heartbreaker for Katie Benson.
But you know what? That's from effort, man. That's from trying. That's from leaving it all on the track right there, wanting that moto win, wanting to stamp this thing going out in the final moto. And you know what they say, you're only as good as your last race. That's what you're remembered by. And Benson leaving it all on the track here today.
Yes, she is.
Trying to move that number 28 Yamaha to the front.
So 7 laps down for Phelps as we reset the leaderboard now here after 7 laps of racing complete. Benson's problems. That allows Allred to get by Hodges. Wow. That little mishap for her took her off the track and back a couple of spots, so she's back up to the number 3 spot. Benson checking in now almost 8 seconds, 7.5 seconds behind Hannah Hodges. Taylor Jones, 3.9 seconds back. So she didn't get around, but she did close up that gap quite a bit on Katie Benson. Any more mistakes at this point is going to yield another position for Taylor Jones at this juncture.
Yeah, I'm going to say, we're looking at 4 minutes left here, so a couple laps in the book, I believe. Might be seeing a two-lap board this time around. But right now, Taylor Jones, if she keeps digging, might be able to pick up another position. Benson, you know, she's starting to feel the fatigue right now, starting to feel the wear and tear right now. There comes your leaders. Phelps one more time on that Kawasaki, working their way back into the forest. Taylor Allred on the number 34 KTM. Currently in that number 2 ride, Hannah Hodges on the 17 gas holding down the number 3 position. Taking a look at Taylor Allred right now, working her way through some lap traffic. Coming back around the waterworks, has to be very, very careful now, does the number 34 machine. Can't have any mistakes, no throwaways right now. Time winding down, 3 minutes to go in this one, 7 laps in. Yep, Phelps, Allred, Hodges as it runs on the track, but as it runs in championship contention, we're looking at Phelps, Allred, and Benson. 2.5 minutes left. Here we go, working our way back past the tower right below us. The 2-lap card is out. 2-lap card is out in this one. There goes Allred on the gas, back behind the bulletin board. A 2:17.1 last time around. Your leader, a 2:14. Sophia Phelps, a 2:14. There comes the 56. Phelps through the 10 Commandments for the final time. Actually going to pick up the white flag this time around. 2-lap card is out. So one more time through these ruts, one more time through Storyland. Oh no! The 56 Phelps falls over. She's got a pretty big gap, but your leader, okay, picks that thing back up. Looked like she was getting a bit tired. Looked like she was getting a bit fatigued. And that was just a common fall over. I mean, literally step off of the machine right there. Able to keep it running, keeps it on 2 wheels. Looks like some kind of issue possibly with that machine. Looked like she's fighting that machine right now. Back up and rolling, going to try to get back up to race pace, but she has significantly dropped the pace. As she came through the 10 Commandments last time, saw that the front end was moving around a good bit. Not sure if the front tire may be going low. But right now, Sophia Phelps riding very gingerly, coming around to pick up that white flag, trying to keep this thing on 2 wheels to preserve that lead. Had about a 21-second gap over Allred last time around, and don't want to overthink this thing with white flag coming out. There comes our leader now around the Polysport Pond, coming around the beach, headed down into the Bermuda Triangle. Let's keep a close eye on the 56. Where's Allred? There comes Allred as well. leader now checking in. Phelps comes through with a 2:21.9. Last time around, the gap was 21.3 seconds. White flag is out. This is the final lap. Allred just about to check in. Looks like the gap actually cut almost in half. A 2:14 for Allred, down to a 14-second gap. But going to be too much to overcome here without a major situation happening on the final lap. So Sophia Phelps leads Taylor Allred. Hannah Hodges checks in about another 3 seconds back. So Phelps, Allred, Hodges, 1, 2, 3 on the course, but it's going to be Phelps, Allred, and Benson in the overall with our current running order. Final time for the number 56, Sophia Phelps. There she comes. In and out of the 10 Commandments. Coming up next, after our women's class, going to be our college 18 to 24 down on the line right now. College 18 to 24 in staging area, 65cc 7 to 9. 65, 7 to 9 in staging. First call for Super Mini 1, 12 to 15. You guys should be working your way into pre-staging. So less than half a lap now, coming around the tree back in Waterworks, up and over the big tabletop, down onto the Monster Mile. Comes the number 56, Sophia Phelps. Allred putting on a good charge late in this one, cutting that gap down as much as he possibly could, but Phelps putting in good laps early, putting herself in great position, came into it with a 2-1, looking to go out of this thing 2-1-1, and your new Loretta Lynn's women's national champion. There comes Phelps for the final time around the Polysport Pond, down into the Bermuda Triangle. The number 56 Kawasaki, all kinds of emotion underneath of that helmet you can imagine right now. Here she comes. Checkered flag is out. Victory rev right there. The number 56, Sophia Phelps, sitting on a 2-1-1, a moto win here in the final moto and the championship at Loretta Lynn, sitting on a gap of 4 to 6. Allred checking in. Allred coming around right now, just about to check in. Should keep things in the same order. It does. Taylor Allred now solidifies second in the moto and second place overall. Hannah Hodges has checked in. She's going to get third place for the moto. I believe that's going to put her in fourth place overall.
All right, Megawatt down here on the podium as we're set to celebrate not only a second moto win of the week, but also that women's national championship. So she goes 2-1-1, taking the Moto 3 win and gold here at Loretta Lynn's. One more time, put your hands together for Sophia Phelps. Sophia, congratulations to you, or as Grandma says, Sophie. She's so proud of you. Just got a chance to talk to her there just a second ago, and I know that there's a lot of folks that are super proud of you right now, and for good reason. Let's talk a little bit about this this weekend, or this week, I should say. You started out the first moto. You got yourself a second place position, but you weren't going to be denied the rest of the time. Talk a little bit about these last couple motos and this championship-winning moto we just went through.
You know, I got going on the first moto, and my dad told me, he was like, hey, just get top 3, because in the past we've come in and we've been pretty nervous. So we've worked on our mental game a lot this year. I picked up a second, and we were pretty stoked on that. And then we were happy with that, but we were pretty hungry. So we came back and we got the first, and then we were like, hey, first, just repeat. It wasn't going for the championship, it was going for the moto win, trying to keep, you know, the mental game strong. So we came out with the win, and I'm gonna be honest, it probably still hasn't like hit me. I think I'm still in shock. but I'm just so stoked. It's been a long year of training, but it's been so worth it. Actually, when we first picked up the 250Fs, I told my dad I had to practice putting it on the stand without grabbing the swing arm. I had to pick it up from the fender so I could do it up here. So every day after practice, when I put it on the stand, it was so I could put it on the stand up here.
Wow, that's a good mental picture that you got yourself in there. I like that, Sophie. So congratulations. We're going to give you a chance. We're going to give you that #1 plate and everything here in just a moment. I do want to give you a chance, though, to say thanks to those folks you want to say thanks to right now.
Good, because I have so many people to thank. I feel so blessed, and I'm just prayers of gratitude every day that I'm able to be here and do this. And I'm grateful first and foremost to my parents, because they've done more than I can even believe to get me here. And my dad's like the best mechanic in the world, so I'm thankful to him and all his awesome pitboard messages. Thankful to Kawasaki Team Green, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, especially the guys at home at the St. George dealership. They've been so helpful to us. Thankful to Fast Company for the bars and pegs, Factory Connection for the suspension setup, RMX Series for the great tracks to ride, Kyle Lewis MX Academy for all the training, and RMX Academy for that as well. Thankful to Fastlane Precision, Renaissance Slab Yard, Twisted Prints for the jersey prints, Scott for the goggles, Pod for the knee braces, Fly Racing for all the awesome gear so I can look pretty fly out there, CrossFit Dixie for the strength training, Blended Up for the protein after the motos, Hinson for the clutches, Arc for the levers, and my family and grandparents for being here supporting me, as well as Paul Barr for everything he's doing from afar, as well as, let's see, the Goobler Farm for letting me ride on their property, and the Lewises for letting me ride on theirs. I have so many people to thank, and I just could not be more grateful for this opportunity, so thank you all.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Sophia Phelps, as she will be presented from the American Motorcyclist Association, the national #1 plate. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your 2021 Women AMA Amateur National Motocross Champion, Sophia Phelps. All right. All righty, Sophia. We'll let you come back and pop the top and get some more photos coming up here in just a few moments. We'll bring up our Moto Silver and Moto Bronze, which happens to be as well. Well, Taylor Allred will be not only second place here in the Moto, but she will pick up second overall here. So, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to let you know, Sophia, you got yourself a pair of Oakley goggles to go to the favorite lady in your life, which could be your mom or you in this one, I believe, in this case of the WMX. She said it's totally my mom. She worked so hard to get us here. So come on up. And our second place finisher once again, Taylor Allred. Taylor, congratulations to you. Outstanding performance this week, but once again, the field stacked so deep as far as a women's class at Loretta Lynn's.
Yeah, everyone's riding really good this year. This moto I got off to not the best start, and me and Hannah were battling for a little bit, and then I saw Katie and Hannah both went down, so I tried to sprint to catch up to them, and Sophie was just gone, so I'm stoked for everyone.
There you go, good ride. Anybody you want to say thanks to?
The whole KTM Orange Brigade crew, my mom, my dad, Fly, Hope, Dunlop, Scott, FMF, my little brother, Mike, and just anyone else I forgot. Thank you.
Alrighty, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. She takes home the Moto Silver and second overall in this championship, Taylor Allred. And bringing home the silver in Moto #3, as well as taking the Stasic Stability Whole Shot Award. Put your hands together for Hannah Hodges. Hannah making her way on over here on this. It's starting to warm up, I think, quite a bit already early this morning. Congratulations, Hannah. Whoops. Knocked that brand new hat off of that bike. But congratulations to you. Outstanding week. And as I stated to her just a few moments ago, what a stacked class of women's class racers here at Loretta's this week, huh?
Yeah, everyone rode great. I mean, I get upset with my results, but at the end of the day, I work a full-time job. So I just got to be happy to be up here. I'm thankful to be here.
Amen. Amen. You had your work cut out for you in this third moto. We seen you off the track, back on the track, but you were battling for that third place today.
Yeah, I wanted that win in the last moto just to prove myself. I haven't had a great week, but like I said, I work full time, so got to do what I can.
I like your attitude. I'm happy for you that you're putting it all into perspective. Who would you like to say thanks to?
Lord Jesus Christ, keep me safe. My mom and dad, my mechanic Jake, my aunt for coming out, Troy Lee Designs, Alpine Star, Scott, Dunlop, Renthal, Maxima, Power Band, and anybody else I forgot. Thank you.
There she is. She takes home the bronze and the whole shot award. Hannah Hodges, ladies and gentlemen.